Come to order. Can we have a roll call of the members present, please?
William Klein.
Here.
Ron Shamash.
Here.
Roger Grave de Peralta.
Here.
Tom Wenham.
Here.
Ryan Mishkin.
Here.
Stacy Summers has an excused absence, and Miguel Alonso.
Here.
And you have a quorum.
Thank you. Welcome to the public. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
The flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Kelly, are there any changes, addition, or deletions to the agenda?
No, sir.
Okay, the agenda will be adopted. Now we'll do the swearing in of the witnesses or speakers. If you plan to speak or we're going to ask you some question and you need to answer them, please raise your right hand. Say, I swear to say the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Thank you. Okay, our next order of business is new business. The first item is petition number 19037, Dance Theater at the Wellington Green Square. Do any of the board members wish to disclose
No.
any expert communication?
None.
Very good. Okay. What are staff recommendations?
Brandon Miller with the Planning and Zoning staff. What you have before you is petition number 19037, ARB 19-008 for the Dance Theater at Wellington Green Square signage with technical deviations. The tenant, Stephanie Salerno of Dance Theater, on behalf of the owner Shawnick Wellington, is requesting ARB approval for a primary wall sign that exceeds the maximum allowable height for the center. They're located within the Wellington Green Square MUPD, which is also the location of the Fresh Market. They're requesting a technical deviation to allow a primary wall sign 44 inches in height and 93.5 inches in length. The proposed wall sign is illustrated in Exhibit B and has a total sign area of 28.57 square feet. Per the LDR, a primary wall sign for this tenant shall be a maximum of 30 inches in height and 20 feet in length for the maximum square footage of 50 square feet. The proposed primary wall sign exceeds the maximum allowed height by 14 inches for a total of 44 inches in height, but the proposed sign area is 28.57 square feet, which is over 20 square feet less than what is permitted. Due to the projecting arcade that breaks up the storefront, the area to place a sign is extremely limited. If the tenant were to install a sign that met code requirements, the copy would be extremely small, which can be seen in Exhibit C, limiting the visibility for the tenant. The recessed portion of the facade is covered by trees, and it is not an ideal location for the sign. The proposed sign is centered above the arched entryway of the tenant bay and has approximately 10 inches of space above and below the sign. Our recommendation is that staff recommends approval with the conditions listed in the staff report.
Okay, thank you. We'll open this item for public hearing. Anybody want to talk or tell us about it? Please use the microphone. Tell us who you are for the record.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Salerno, owner of Dance Theater, Wellington. Okay, so I have been in the plaza. This is our 11th year now. I currently was on the other end of the plaza next to Ollie's, and I had a really nice storefront. I think it's one of the last pages that you can see what my sign looked like before. I needed to expand, so they gave me the option to move to the end of the plaza where Joey's Outback used to be, and they would give me a portion, and they would give Luna Salon Suites a portion. I figured, great, they were going to work a deal with me, they were going to help with my build out, this is perfect. Well, then after I realized where my sign is limited to and what I was allowed to have, and I'm thinking I had this great big sign before that everyone could see, and now I'm getting this little tiny thing, and I felt like I'm paying you rent for 4,400 square feet now, and my sign needs to be like 1/8 of what it was. So I'm asking if you could please allow me, it's not that much bigger, just so it could be visible and it could be fair to me also, because Luna, as you can see, has that whole thing spread out, and then I'm getting that little tiny portion. So if there's any way we can deviate, that way I can, you know, I feel like people in Wellington would think I'm just cheaping out and didn't want to pay for a sign, when the fact of the matter is they didn't want to move the trees, let me have the sign where I wanted it, and I'm kind of stuck now with the leftovers.
Sure.
Any questions?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to ask. Any question from the board regarding
Brandon.
testimony?
It is Exhibit B what the staff is proposing?
Yes.
Yes.
Just want to make sure for the record.
Yes.
Okay.
And I guess the only technical deviation, Brandon, I guess, is for the height. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
It's not the width, it's the height.
It's the height.
Because we have tall okay.
And not the area. He said it was
Not the
20,
area.
20 square feet less than maximum.
Actually, it's 20 instead of 50, so we're good.
That's a lot less.
It's a lot less.
Motion to approve, subject to staff recommendations.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
Anybody second? Second by Bill. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, then motion passed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next item is petition number 19-034, Ford's Garage at the mall at Wellington Green. And I have staff recommendations, please.
Before you is petition 19-034, ARB 19-007 for the Ford's Garage at the mall at Wellington Green elevations. Ford's Garage is a restaurant located within the mall at Wellington Green, MUPDG, and is adjacent to the food court. This petitioner is submitting for ARB approval to allow for modifications to exterior elevations and colors for Ford's. The exterior elevations and materials leave the storefront windows intact along the north elevation, which encourages natural lighting. Also, the existing architectural elements such as brick, pavers, and tile are to remain, as well as the existing trees and hedges that line the storefront, which are incorporated on the patio in front of the proposed canopy. They're going to have a top trim of the canopy that will be 3 colors. The colors are going to be black, red, and yellow, which will be complemented by the dark bronze canopy and the columns. Our recommendation is that staff recommends approval with the conditions listed in the staff report.
Okay, we're gonna open this to a public hearing and take testimony. Anybody wanna say something about it?
Good evening, Carlos Molnar, architect for the Ford's Garage project here in Wellington. Thank you for your time. This is a critical component to the restaurant. We're excited about going into this location. We work closely with staff to, I think, come up with something that's very complementary, but will also be a very important and I think exciting element to this mall facade. So we're here to answer any questions you may have, and we'll see what we can help with. Thank you.
Okay, any questions from the board?
Brandon, I have one question. Are there are no requested technical deviations, is that correct?
That's correct.
So that means the sign complies?
Okay. I do have some questions. I looked online for some of your location. I look at the one at Brandon, Florida, St. Petersburg, which has the yellow color scheme in it. The Bourne, Michigan, Orlando. A while back, we had another request that is similar to that at a chicken place. PDQ, thank you. Where they ask for like this vibrant colors, you know, in your face kind of color. It does make it look like a garage. I'm not too sure I want to see my mall look like a garage.
Mhm.
Now, I did see that in Orlando and in Dearborn, you kind of tone down, and even in Brandon, you tone down the yellow to kind of accents here and there, as opposed to having it like that big dark yellow stripe going around. So I'd like to see if we can kind of tone down the yellow.
So are you referring to the horizontal banding, 'cause-
Yes,
Okay, so the background color is more of a neutral kind of yellowish tan. I think the color you're referring to is the red, yellow, black, yellow on the profile of the canopy. Is that correct?
right.
So the intent was, and that is one of the Forge Garage colors of the brand. We did limit it to just those two thins. As was said, we use a lot of the dark anodized, the metal. The predominant color that you will sense from the canopy is that dark anodized. It is that color. It just happens with the flat facading of, a two-dimensional rendering that's what you're getting predominantly, but the most of the color will actually be the dark anodized. We've limited that yellow to it's only about a 6-inch band on that facade, as that color is stacked vertically.
Yeah, I understand. Can you, but I saw in Orlando and it looks like in the Bourne,
So
you
the-
actually,
The Orlando, we do use the same coloring sequence that occurs.
is it the same paint? Because the
Yes,
yellow
sir.
in the Orlando
It might be the
picture
printout, but we submitted
Go by
real samples.
Go by the
Yes, sir.
the sample there. That
We've submitted
Right.
real
This is-
paint samples.
that
That's
the yellow?
correct. Those are the actual paint samples with the colors, not just a printout.
Can we actually tone the yellow down a little bit?
Is
Uh,
this part of your branding?
Yes, sir.
Kelly, can you help us out? Weren't there some laws passed by the state?
if it was considered a sign.
Okay, it's only for signs. Okay, thank you.
Like, clarify that.
Okay, well, okay. So a little different question, but this is a picture of the existing?
Existing, that's
And
correct.
so this red box, you're painting that, looks like
We're
a
toning it
yellow.
down more to the building
Building
color,
color.
to the base color of the building. That's correct.
Roger, are you on Exhibit B?
I'm on Exhibit B,
Okay.
existing elevation.
Yes, sir.
And are you adding stone to that back wall too, or is that?
No, sir. That's the
I just-
existing
it's just
stone. We've
hiding in the elevation?
That's correct. We're leaving it in place.
Okay.
We are toning down that red volume
Mhm.
to more of a base color. If you can see on our page 3,
Does your base color match the existing
it's
base of
very
the?
close.
very
Yes,
close
sir.
of
It's
the
very
mall?
close. It's tonal differences. If you hold that color palette up to the building
Tried to match
and
it.
clean it, it's very close. The intent was to begin to blend. That red element was very predominant, and while red is one of our colors, we were trying to appease the elevation and neutralize it a little bit. And then the colors we used, the black, I would say, is probably the signature color because it is total element. That will be the most predominant color because that's all the canopy. Then the yellow and the red are simple linear highlights along that canopy.
Okay, so the canopy's a new canopy. This silver thing's going away. This like.
Yeah, and the bump out was the other thing I was curious about.
So
I don't see
that remains. We're not touching that.
But you're adding.
We're coming right in front of it. Yes,
Front
sir.
of
We're
it.
coming in front of it and extending outward from it. That's correct.
Okay, and so when you're saying you're really going to see the black, it's because we see the underside. It's
You
black.
see, yes,
and
sir. The
we're just
columns,
seeing
the
only.
underside.
We're seeing just the front fascia,
That's correct.
front piece
Yes,
of
sir.
this in the elevation.
The majority of that will be the black, with only the colors happening around the perimeter, the linear bands.
And then you'd be painting the existing parapet cap as well. red and
Yes,
yellow.
yes, sir.
So the picture we have on the internet for Orlando and the Bourne, and I can pass it around, it's because the color faded over time because
Is it possible to project it, or
I just printed it off the internet. I can
We'll hand it to you.
pass
can I?
No, that's the color probably. Is that the same color?
So, in some locations,
Oops, sorry.
here.
I meant to put it up top. Apologies.
So I'm gonna tab over to my,
It doesn't look that bright to me.
right, so,
The physical sample, it's muted as well.
Yeah, no,
Much more
I
muted
meant
than.
in-
yes, sir. So the red, I'm trying to hold up your page here. The red, yellow, black, yellow, red is the same patterning that we're accomplishing on this one here.
And are you using the same color? Because the colors you gave us in the packet is very bright. The color here is a little more subdued.
Just a scan, that's why.
These are pictures
Okay. Are they
that
gonna-
are more to the printer color. Though we provided real painted samples there for you to see the real
This is
color.
the real thing,
Yes,
and
sir.
it's not going to be glossed up or anything else.
No, No.
This
There's
is
actually a lot of, if you look at nighttime shots online, you'll see there's more of a white light that is kind of rimming the perimeter in an old-fashioned neon, kind of harkening back to the old neon days. It's actually LED, but it's what's kind of trims out the top of the buildings and such. This one has not, because we're using so much existing facade, and we've kept, honestly, most of it there. There's very little, if any, that we're removing. It's more an additive process, and then, again, muting the red volume that you mentioned kind of in the front.
Okay. Anybody else have any more questions? No? Okay, we're gonna close the public hearing. Any discussion
See,
from
there's
the
gonna be a
board?
light on the top, you said?
No, ma'am. So
Oh.
that's typical, but because this isn't, I'm sorry, because this is an existing location, we didn't have that opportunity.
Oh, okay.
But if you do look online, you will see that occur often. That on new builds, that's very common. Yes, ma'am.
So the fascia is the red, yellow, black, yellow, red.
That's correct. Of the canopy. Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Brandon, you wanna give this to Kelly? So you're gonna have the neon light, kinda accent lighting coming down?
No, sir, because we don't have the pillars that are there because it's a new build, and we're only doing the canopy. We'll not have we don't have that ability.
To do it,
Um,
okay.
On new builds where we build, it's a square, thicker column. We have the ability to run conduits up and have more opportunity for lighting.
Okay,
I wish we did, though. We do, but we don't have that opportunity, unfortunately.
that's okay. Okay, I guess we're gonna, anybody else wanna ask another question? We can close
Just
it.
real quick, so looking at your north proposed elevation, you have two key tags there for the material specs. And it says, goes from 6, which is cream napery, to 7, which is gold haystack.
Yes, sir.
Were those on that
Yes, sir.
sample board?
On that board right there.
Okay, so you're keeping that built out and you're just painting it
This
one of
is
those other
the,
colors?
it's not, it's a different name here, because this was Crown Hill Yellow, that says haystack.
I think it sometimes goes between which version of paint you use, and they like their names when it comes to different manufacturers. But those are the main colors.
Yeah, they have a mix here too. This says Crown Hill Yellow on the, this says Crown Hill Yellow here.
I actually like
But
the
gold
fact that you're
haystack.
keeping that bump out a different color. But, so. it
The
doesn't-
existing bump out that's
Yeah,
there? Yeah,
that's currently painted red.
correct.
better
There is a
than the
tonal
elevation.
difference. The building color happens just to be very similar to our colors, but there's a slight tonal difference. But
So-
it's not blatant. It's not,
So
It
it's
just
gonna
wasn't clear
match.
in that in the
It's-
colored
and
elevation.
there is a discrepancy in the drawing you found and the other drawings. On the color Ronnie's been asking about too.
Right. I'm okay with the color scheme that you gave us today.
Yes, sir.
I'm not okay with the color that we got in the pocket.
This
is
yellow
bright
here, you're
yellow
saying.
over
it's the print, and yeah, this does look a lot brighter. That's which is why we tried to present you the real
Yeah.
painted sample, so you can see the actual color.
here.
This
Okay.
does look brighter on the printout than it looks on there.
And what does the approval say which we're approving? Because your construction drawing has a different name for the paint color.
What's the name over there? What page?
Haystack or something.
Recommendation, number 1,
Yeah,
it lists out the colors.
let's see.
Crown Hill yellow, tricorn black, napper, manual red, dark bronze, black.
Crown Hill Yellow. Okay. Which we have to believe this is Crown Hill Yellow.
Well,
Yeah, so when
we
they
can
were-
approve it, but not with the name, but with this
With
color.
that
Yeah,
color.
we keep
Yes.
that
So-
until
Keep
they,
that?
yeah, we
Okay,
keep it
okay,
until they
fine.
actually,
And that's kind
And
of,
we're fine going with that,
and that will kind of
absolutely.
close our
Fine.
argument.
Yeah.
So
Just
that
'cause-
would be
just 'cause
part
of
the
confusion.
motion then, that yellow.
It's
This
in there
yellow over
already,
there,
yeah.
yes.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay.
Roger, you should note that yellow that's gonna be on that build out is gonna be the same yellow that's on that trim.
No, I
Cause it's
don't.
not clear on here.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No,
Is that, you're saying he's calling out that's at a different color? Hmm.
which is the same color that's on the
So the
trim.
elevation is, so the colored elevation is incorrect?
Correct.
okay.
Which elevation are you looking at,
Oh,
please?
no. I didn't notice that.
Wait,
Yeah.
I thought it will be the Napier color.
Yeah,
That
it
This
looks,
is the
it-
neighbor,
he,
correct?
Miguel was reading the drawing.
This is the
That's
5.
six,
This is,
that's six,
we're not
that's
touching this. This is
seven.
existing.
That's six.
Right, and this is the neighbor.
This bump out is scheduled to be 7, which is the
Which matches the trim.
Crown
yellow.
Hill yellow is only the trim.
bright yellow.
The crown, the trim, the accent trim is the bright color.
Which is
And
number
that's-
7, but that's also, I just wanna make sure everyone's
Sure.
aware. that's also the color that you're proposing to paint the bump out.
It could be an accident. It could be a
But one
mistake.
of them's wrong, we just want to clarify which one's correct.
This
Yeah.
color here, this, on your chart,
And the bump out, I believe, is that volume right there.
That's correct.
this one.
Yeah.
This is intended to match.
That's
all the
not what's
top.
on your construction drawing.
Yeah, on the
Well, then
material
that's
specs.
an error on our side. I apologize. It's
Okay,
intended
so-
to be all the napery.
Okay.
It's intended to blend throughout the
Okay.
facade.
Okay, so it'll
It's
be-
not to be the bright
So we're
color.
gonna approve this color only on the trim if. the
Yes, sir,
motion
that's correct.
passes?
That's
Okay.
the only intended place.
Good, thank you.
Well, he'll have to also update this,
The drawing.
A61, and then before we send out our approval letter, we'll make sure that they all say number 6 on them.
I have to make up for my absences.
Or whatever the number is
There you
that
go.
it's supposed to be.
And we're happy to do that and send the revised drawings.
Sure. Okay,
Great.
anybody else? Yeah, Roger,
No, I'm good.
you're good?
I'm good.
All right, so basically, it would be nice to get a motion to approve the elevations, the color scheme and everything else with the condition that this is gonna be the color of the trim as in the drawing, but only the trim.
Yeah.
Is that
Correct.
what you're agreeing?
Yes, sir.
So, okay, so I make a motion to approve with the staff recommendation and that the yellow color sample submitted will match the color of the trim and only the trim area.
Does that have a name and number?
Well,
Well,
we
we're
can't
not sure if
tell.
the name is
We
right,
can't
Oh,
tell.
because
It's
we
the
have two
painted
different
chip.
Just make
colors.
sure that
So
it
it's
matches
the one that was submitted.
Yeah.
And I'll second that motion.
Okay, so we have a motion by Roger Grave de Peralta and second by Mr. Miguel Alonso. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. motion
Thank you. We
passed.
appreciate your time.
Thank you. Good luck to you.
So when are you supposed to open?
June 4th.
Wow,
Oh,
We're very close.
wow.
Yeah, we're doing
Oh,
really
very
well. The
nice.
I saw you
construction's
guys
coming.
standing out front earlier today.
Yeah, we were talking about it and
Yeah.
pointing, and
Good.
so we're excited.
Great,
I think you guys will enjoy it.
great.
Well, looking
All
forward to it.
right. Any other?
Thank you.
I've been to the
Thank
one.
you.
It's great.
Any other comments from the public? Any comments from staff? Comments from the
Your next
board?
meeting is May,
Staff?
And I guess, sorry,
hold on, I should have got ready for that. May 15th.
May 16th?
15th, May
May
15th, yes.
and why was the fence pushed again? I don't-
There's not a full board, being that it's a staff
Stacy.
We were closer
initiated. I
to
wasn't
that.
gonna even bother sending it and postponing it again if we didn't have a full board. Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm
Keep
looking
doing
at
your
lots of
homework.
fences.
No.
I gotta say, I've been looking at lots of
Sounds like I
fences.
missed a
don't-
doozy.
I don't understand.
I know, the more we drive though, the more unfavorable it looked, yeah.
Well, it's not just the white fence, it's all fences.
But what
I'll
you're
stop
saying
looking
is
at
it a code
fences.
compliance issue.
Okay,
I like the fence that's going up on Wellington Trace. I don't know.
At what?
one
There's a
choice
new
and-
fence that they tore down the old fence and put up. It's not a fence, it's something else, but it looks very, very nice. And they've been
Didn't see
working
it.
on it.
Wellington Trace and what?
You live, right?
It's before you get to Forest Hill. It's on the, as you're going towards Forest Hill, it's on the left-hand side. It looks very good.
Over by Country Club? That it?
No, 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 it's, yeah, it
That
would be,
side.
not too far. Yeah,
The east side.
yeah, the east side, yeah.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure we have a meeting in May, so
You gotta look at it.
just let you know. And hopefully we'll have a full board so that we can talk about fences before I go on maternity leave, which will be in June, so,
So bring all the
Yeah.
paperwork that you gave us.
yeah, so,
And you guys can drive around.
yeah.
Well, this must have been an okayed fence, because they've been working on this thing for a couple of weeks now. Tore down the old one, put the new one up, so, and it
I'll
looks
have to
good.
look at it.
Check it out. All right, thank you, everybody. The
Thank you,
meeting is
guys.
adjourned.
Thank you.
I said
Thank
20
you.
minutes, I was off by 4.
So.